I don't really like doing this. I don't like doing rants. It gets repetitive. However, my passion for the team, my passion for telling you guys the truth, and my anger motivates me to do a video like this. So let's get into it. Welcome back to the Big Blue in the Bronx YouTube channel, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Turn on post notifications so you know when a live stream pops your drops. Appreciate you coming back. Share this out and also become a member. We're growing as a channel to do more things for our members, like giveaways, merch giveaways, Discord stuff, other things. Members only live streams. Need a little bit more members, so feel free to hit the join button. But let's focus on an intro to the topic, got something after that, and then we'll dive fully into it. So, I've been a Yankee fan my whole life, but I've watched since 2011. So I saw the back end of the Girardi years, and I've seen all the Boone years. And every year I got smarter, every year I got more into it. This year probably is the worst year I've ever watched as a New York Yankees fan. What years come close to it? 2013 was pretty bad because we didn't make the playoffs. I think we were 6 games over 500, if that at all. I think it was like 83 and 77 or whatever the hell the record was, whatever. And we had guys like Lyle Overbay and Brendan Ryan and Travis Hafner. And it was just a really shitty ball club for our standards. 2021 wasn't good by any stretch of imagination, where the Yankees literally limped into the playoffs. DJ LeMahieu was hurt at the end of the year. You started the year with Jay Bruce, Mike Tauchman, Mike Ford, Brett Gardner, a couple other guys that really didn't pan out. You traded for Joey Gallo. But this year, I think, is the worst year. By far. I've asked myself a few dozen times, have the Yankees hit rock bottom yet? I think they have right now. Right now. After this series loss, they have hit rock bottom. Why? I'll elaborate that in just a second. And I know it's going to be a pain in the ass for you guys, so I do chapters. If you want it on the promo, great. If not, you could probably skip unless you're in the premiere. But of course, go back to it afterward. We are now sponsored by the ticket vendor, also known as SeatGeek. Now you could get, thanks to us, $20 off your entire order with the promo code Big Blue in the Bronx. Looking to go to a concert, a Giants game, a ball game in general, $20 off your entire order, your first order, with the promo code Big Blue in the Bronx. So let's get into it. A lot of people were taking victory laps after the Astros series. Oh, we didn't lose the series of the Astros. Why are people complaining? I'm fine with a split in the series. Yeah, me too. I wasn't. If it was just, okay, they beat us, I'd be like, okay, fine. We suck anyway. But let's go back to some takeaways from that split. There was a crap ton of walks that game. We know that. Wandy gave up 2 home runs to 2 righties. That is Jake Myers and Martin Maldonado. Now, Maldonado is trash. He does not hit well. Myers looked like Babe Ruth that day, hit 2 3-run homers, I think. But anyway, we went down, 9-5 after those 2 home runs. But one of my bigger questions is, why is Peralta in the game against a batting order coming up that is predominantly right-handed? That, my friends, is on Aaron Boone. And if I'm going to quote the great Michael Kay, Boone is not the issue. It's the roster construction and the injuries. Well, guess what? This entire White Sox series and the Sunday game is a big proponent, and it's a big instance as to why Aaron Boone is the problem. Now, I got this a lot on my last video. I got this a lot on the video beforehand. I very well know that Brian Cashman is one of the biggest cancers with this team. The front office, the aging front office that's mixed in with analytics, which is like so weird. Hal Steinbrenner not giving a flying crap about what this team is doing. Apparently now Brian Cashman's job is safe, but Aaron Boone's job is less safe. I don't know what that means. Well, actually, no, I do know what that means, but it's not going to equate to anything. And Yeah, even if they do fire Boone, it will be another Cashman puppet unless Hal decides to get off his ass. Unfortunately, his father nor his brother are still alive to take the reins from him. So we're going to have to deal with this nonsense. But I go back to Sunday's decision because Aaron Boone's decision could have, put Kenyon Middleton or Tommy Kahnle in because we are basically playing positionless reliever baseball. You saw games this season where Ron Marinaccio was in the 5th, the 6th, the 4th, the 7th, the 9th. It's like basketball, at least with the way the New York Yankees are trying to put it, where you have positionless basketball. Now you have no set role for relievers in baseball. Not a closer. The Yankees haven't had a closer in a long time or a consistent one. But you couldn't put in Tommy Kahnle or Kenyon Middleton in the 5th against a righty-stacked do-up. You know what got me next? And this is not even just Aaron Boone, because Aaron Boone makes these little quotes okay because of the leadership he lacks. Harrison Bader, mind you, they lost that day. They lost on Sunday against the Astros. He was asked about the concern in the standings, the way they're playing, whatever. Harrison Bader, we did a great job with battling back, so I think it was actually a really big momentum boost for us moving forward. If we keep playing this brand of baseball, it's going to be fine. Really? How many runners did the New York Yankees leave in scoring position against the Astros? They left 15 on base, and they were 3 for 12. They were walked 12 times. So you're telling me that that's the brand of baseball you want to play, that you want to keep playing? I would have accepted if you said, hey, listen, we got to execute better. We left this many guys on base, but apparently that brand of baseball is just okay. So I'm going to skip ahead to the White Sox series. And I'm going to go over mostly Game 3 because I watched all Game 3. I didn't watch Game 2 because I was somewhere else at the time. And then I watched a little bit of Game 1, but we were doing a show at the time. So I had to give respect to my viewers and not be distracted. 12 Ks per game on average in the White Sox series alone. 12 of the first night. Actually, 12 the first night. The second night, 17. Did the Yankees lose the second night? No, they didn't. They won. But they struck out 17 effing times against the White Sox, who are 4th in the AL Central, who have sold Lance Lynn, Lucas Giolito, all these different cats. They were sold. They went to different teams. They complained about the locker room. Kenyon Middleton complained about the locker room. You would think after the Tim Anderson incident, this team is in shambles. The Yankees should sweep them. They didn't even win the series. They lost. But let's go into some other things as well. The New York Yankees, you want to round up the runners in scoring position batting average for the entire series. They were 3 for 26 with a 115 batting average. Do you see guys in the major league with a 115 batting average? No, you don't. Even in this analytic era that hates batting average, you don't see guys hitting that low or they get demoted. That's the entire team, the entire series. 1 run, 7 runs, and then 2 runs. Let's do the math on that. 1 plus 7 plus 2, 10 divided by 3. That's about 3.33. 4 runs a game. So yeah, you can blame a little of the pitching, of course, which we'll get to, but the hitting, awful. 12 Ks per game isn't going to cut it, and that's the way the Yankees love their brand of baseball, as Harrison Bader would put it. So let's get to the fish, the big fish. Also, Gleyber Torres had a stupid error in Game 3 that he decided to, obviously it was a weird hop, but didn't put his full body in front of the ball as a second baseman. He decided, it's just going to roll off my glove, go into right field, and that's a couple runs scored. But big fish. Luis Severino has been utter garbage this season. There is no doubt about that. No Yankee fan will tell you he's pitched good. Everyone across the board agrees he's garbage. And it's odd because you usually see these type of players really excel in contract years. But for Sevy, well, it's not the case. He sucks this year. Let's put it that way. I'll get you guys a stat line in just a second. 2-7, 8.06 ERA. Opposing average, 3.32. By far the worst in his career. And that doesn't even match up to the 3-8 season he had when he started out 0-6, and then he went to the bullpen. Doesn't even translate, doesn't even touch those stats. Because at least Sevy finished strong. Sevy's been inconsistent and just flat out garbage the last few starts. So the Yankees, they pull the plug. They say, okay, listen, we're going to have Ian Hamilton start. There were reports circling. Greg Joyce, I think, was one of them. Some others as well, maybe Chris Kirshner too, that said Sevy was frustrated about not starting. I'm thinking to myself, what rights do you have to talk after the way you've pitched and the way you've lost games for this team? But the Yankees don't hold their players to accountability. You know what they did? They rewarded him. They said, Luis Severino is going to be behind Ian Hamilton. And I said this on Game Season and really asked this question. How much is it going to change? This going from the stretch crap about tipping pitches, how much is that going to alter anything? Because he's been trash even with the going from the stretch and not the windup. Sevy shit the bed against the White Sox in Game 3. For those of you who did not watch, or maybe went to go see a movie or something. Because that, obviously, as we all know, is a better use of your time. Severino's final stat line, 1 home run to a guy who was hitting .220, batting 8th or 9th in the lineup, so total bum. 2 Ks, only 2 Ks, 4 runs, 5 hits in 2 innings. And then when he came off the mound, he gave Boone the ball right away. That shows you did not want to be in the game, or you were ready just to have a loser attitude. I'm done with the game. I'm not going to finish it out for my teammates and try to pitch better or whatever it is. And I get it. You could flip it 1,000 different ways. But you could tell the body language sucked. It sucked. The body language with this team sucks. It sucks a fat one. Because they are in last place right now. But for the past few years, under the Boone Cashman regime, they have played like melatonin. Screw melatonin for all of you insomniacs. You want something to put you to sleep? You go watch a Yankee game. And you know what's the worst part? Is this was one of their easier games. This was one of their easier stretches. They have an off day. Then they go play the Marlins, who are competing for a spot in the wild card in the National League. After that, you go and play Atlanta, who is the top team. I believe in the National League. If not the National League, they're the top team in their division. After that, you play the Red Sox at home. Sounds like fun. And then after that, you play the Nationals. They will win against the Nationals, I'm telling you that right now. I thought they would win against the White Sox, so I'm wrong there. I also thought they would win the division. Wrong there. But they will win against the Nationals and try to hype us up. And what they're also doing is apparently waiting till August 20th or afterwards to manipulate the service time on Everson Pereira, who's been knocking balls left and right, but is also a guy who has a high K percentage. Personally, me, the prospect guys can yell at me. I don't think Pereira is a guy that's the future of this team. He's not a left fielder for the Yankees, in my opinion. I don't think he's going to be that type of guy for the Yankees. I could be wrong. I see Jason Dominguez as a guy that probably fits in this team somewhere in the future. Maybe Spencer Jones. But also as well, going back to the whole Sevy thing, and also to the whole Herman thing too. Where the hell is Randy Vasquez? Where is he? You look at the stats in AAA. Not very good. I think he's like 3-8 with a 5 ERA. But in the big leagues, Randy Vasquez, let's take a look at those stats. 1-1 with a 1.17 ERA, 3 starts, 10 strikeouts, and 15 in the third innings pitched, and an opposing average of 167. So you're telling me you could not call him up and say, okay, and even if he was like an opener or something, you couldn't call him up. And you want to hear what the excuse from Aaron Boone was in terms of, Ian Hamilton only pitching 1 inning? Well, got to make sure he's okay for the weekend. Really? You have an off day. You have an off day the next day. You're telling me you can't use other relievers in the pen? And if anything, it's your fault that you overused the pen because you decided to go back and really step your words back on the whole Severino situation from starting Hamilton and leaving him there, just saying, okay, Hamilton's going to pitch 1 inning and Sevy's going to go through the rest because we couldn't deal with Sevy's frustrations. What team does this, guys? What team does this? And by the way, I just wanted to say this. I don't know, I think it was game 1. When Aaron Boone did the crap, I didn't bite. Many other Yankee fans, it's pure cinema. SNY Yankees. He needs an Emmy nomination. This act has gotten tired. Yeah, Laz Diaz is a garbage umpire. We know that. Angel Hernandez, all these different guys. They're garbage umpires. We know this. But it's something called adjusting to their terrible strike zone. That's what winning teams do. The Yankees are a losing team. And it starts at the top, but it also does start with the manager, who has a lack of leadership and a lack of accountability and a lack of grasp on the locker room. Because guys can do whatever the hell they want. Gleyber Torres, as much as he's been like one of the best hitters of the last few weeks, careless error in the field. 2 errors on the base pass. IKF stealing second, that play at third that, people could say is safe, but that's a base running error that bites the Yankees in the ass, whether you like it or not. And this is all okay to Aaron Boone. This is all okay to certain Yankee fans and the Michael Kays of the world and this and that and this and that. It's just utter garbage and nonsense. I want to let you guys in on something too. The White Sox were bottom 3 in the American League and are bottom 3 in the American League in ERA. Now, they are top 2 in strikeouts for some reason. That makes sense, but it also doesn't make sense because you had Giolito, you had Lance Lynn, and they got traded. But in terms of wins, if you want to go that way, bottom 3, right? You want to go in terms of hits given up, in terms of pitching, right? They are top 4 in terms of hits given up. Home runs, they've given up the most in the American League. And I thought the Yankees should have excelled at that because guess what? That's all they like to do. I know it's a stereotype, but it's a true stereotype. All they do is hit home runs and then just leave guys on base. Walks, let's see where they rank. Top 2. So, ERA is not good. Top 2 in walks. Top 4 in hits. Top 4 in ERA. And I'm not saying in a good way. I'm saying in an absolute bad way. But the Yankees only scored 10 runs total in 3 games. They struck out 12 times per game on average and had a 115 batting average with runners in scoring position. Let's also count how many times in the count of runners left on base. 13 in the first game. 10 in the second game. 13, 10, so do the math there. And then 6 in the third game. So we got 13, we got 10, and we got 6. That's 29. Divide that by 3, you get 9.6. 9 runners left on base per game. Almost 10. This is the New York Yankees, folks. This is the brand of baseball they like playing. Harrison Bader said it best. And the problem is, things are not going to change. If you're an optimist, you could say, well, it's only up from here. How much up, though? The Red Sox will put us back down as soon as maybe we win a game or two and they lose a game or two. We'll find our own way to lose, or they will find their own way to start winning. We're the only team, at least as of right now, if you look at the standings for the wild card, we are the last team with an above 500 record. And we're only 3 games above 500. Now, the Angels could change that if they decide to start winning games again. But I'm just telling you guys where the Yankees are at. I'm never a guy that's going to sit here and say, root for your team to lose, root for your team to win. I don't tell people how to root, and I don't tell people how to spend their money. But there's 2 things to consider. Number 1, I'm not going to any Yankee games unless it's NYY News TV Day. Because why? Even if they're cheap seats, like I could spend that on Giants preseason games. I could spend that on stuff upgrading the channel. That's just my opinion. I'm not telling you guys how to do it. But if you are of the Fire Cashman, Fire Boone Brigade, maybe you ought to start taking that angle. And it does take a lot of people because Yankee Stadium is a tourist attraction. It is. It's in New York City. It is bound to be. So you have that approach, right? Have that approach. The other approach is I am against tanking. I am against rooting for tanking. It's my personal opinion. But would it be all that bad to see the Yankees miss the playoffs rather than make the playoffs? Because if they enter the playoffs, what do they learn? They don't learn anything. If anything, they might get some luck and play some crappy AL Central team. But then again, we couldn't beat the White Sox. And the way this rotation has blown up is a completely different story. I'm not going to get into it right now. But, would it be the worst thing in the world if this team missed the playoffs? No. Because they'd just get their asses bounced. Like 2020, like 2021. But, folks, this is the Brian Cashman brand, the Hal Steinbrenner brand, and this is also the Aaron Boone brand of baseball. Get used to it because I don't think changes will happen. But if you keep voicing your opinions, if you keep putting your time into content creators like myself, and there's not many out there that tell the truth. And also, by the way, if you haven't already, buy our Fire Cashman, Fire Boone shirts, $19.99, at least to my knowledge, $19.99 or $21.99 off of our store. No one else is going out there and putting those shirts out there. We started it. It's an idea for everybody, but we started it. So I just wanted to put the self-promo in there. Like, comment, subscribe to all the good stuff. Turn on post notifications so you know when live stream pops for your drops. Appreciate y'all coming back. Peace out, guys. See you later. Stay cool.